Welcome everyone to the Electric Coaches channel. I have a special guest with me today. I have Kit Kinchen. He is a stout electric football enthusiast, and he is the author of the rule book for Tudor Games. There are many rules in electric football, and there are many leagues with different kinds of rules. Kit Kinchen has written this book to be the it book, the it rule book for the hobby. Welcome to the show, Kit.
Hey, thank you so much, Electric Coach, for having me.
So you have written this rule book for Tudor Games. You've been writing this book for over a year now? How long has it been?
It's been about a year-long project that has culminated itself into the book for Tudor Games. But I started once I gathered up all of the rule books from other leagues and some of the ways in which I played as a kid, put all of those together, took a look at the NFL rule book, and pieced it all together. And that pretty much, for the expert rules that are located at the Miniature Football Coaches Association site, that took roughly about 7 months, and then for the last 5 months, I've been working with the Tudor Games, Doug, and coming up with this particular format that I think that a lot of people will enjoy.
Now, we all know that Doug Strom is the president and current owner of Tudor Games. Tudor Games, by the way, for the audience, if you don't know, Tudor Game is the inventor of the hobby of electric football from 1947. And this hobby is over 60 years old. I've been playing since the late 70s. So how long have you been playing, Kit?
I pretty much, like everyone else, started when I was a kid. And the game for me goes back some 35 years. When I finally wrapped it up, but I was playing it, I guess I could say without, trying to date myself too much. I played the game for roughly, I want to say roughly about 45 years. Yeah, just a little over 45, a little under 45 years.
So that's a live experience in the hobby of the hobby itself. So pretty much like a lot of us, we started off with the typical set, the board, 11 figures on both sides, 2 kickers and a pack of foam footballs, right?
Hey, that's pretty much it for me too. The model I believe it was the 600 or 620 that I had, and certainly that thing was probably as big as I was, but hey, I certainly enjoyed it.
Yeah, and the game has evolved to what it is now with custom figures, custom boards, and you see my custom board right there. That's my the board I built.
It certainly looks gorgeous too.
Yeah, that's the first 50 yards of it. That board is 39 inches in length. The playing surface is, and it's 21 and a half in width. You talked a little bit about board dimensions also in your book, in your rule book, and you passed that information on to Doug Strom, and you talked to him about the size of the field in its relation to the size of the figures. Can you give us a little bit on that?
Yeah, what I did was in creating the rule book, one of the things that I noticed is that the width of the board was certainly an outstanding width, but once I then did some of my own calculations, if you will, with regard to the actual size, I inquired as to why it is that particular board is the width and the length that it is, and he described to me a situation that just simply said it's the same width and length as the old 620 model. So that was the reason and the understanding that I got from him about that. And I thought that that was something that was kind of unique, because as a kid playing the game, it never dawned on me that the particular board was quote unquote not to scale. So that's just one of the things in which I asked about, and I hope to be able to collaborate with him on adjusting that particular size so that it's somewhat scaled in its size. More to follow on that, and further discussions that will take place on it.
Okay. So listen, let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, as you already know, the rule sets vary among leagues and tournaments. For example, at the MFCA convention, their rule set for the quarterback, for example, the quarterback has to keep the ball if his base touches the base of his offensive lineman.
Sure.
Now, how is your rule set that you written here in this book different from that particular rule at the MFCA convention?
Well, in the particular rule set that I have, it deals primarily with a concept more so than a particular rule. And the concept in advanced gameplay is that the quarterback, in making all of its moves, cannot move forward to the line of scrimmage at the initial snap. So that prevents certain things such as pushing, things that the line, when it's attempting to do things such as defeat the defensive line and or get to the second level, the quarterback is not involved with that. So I thought it was important to have that particular concept put into play. But certainly with other rules and other leagues, they can do pretty much what they'd like to do. That's just one of the concepts in the rules that I created. Hopefully others will take into consideration.
Okay, so as you already know, and I do too, and many people in the hobby know, that if you play in a Tudor tournament, Tudor only allows their figures, their bases. Only their products can be allowed at that tournament. So
yes,
your rules are specific to the Tudor tournament. So in your rule set, like you just said, the quarterback, if he moves forward, that's a penalty, right?
That would be considered a false start. The penalties that I have. That's
okay.
Correct.
So in a nutshell, if your quarterback, let's say if the quarterback is in the pistol formation, let's switch over to the field just for a moment here. And we're going to, because you remember, we've been talking about this formation for a while now.
That's correct. And we have had some off-screen conversation.
Yes, we have. Now, here I have my San Francisco 49ers offense versus the Legion of Boom Seattle Seahawks defense.
Yes.
Now, my quarterback is in the pistol formation.
Yes.
Now, according to your rule set, when the board turns on, if my quarterback moves a centimeter forward, I don't care if it's a centimeter or an inch, that would be a false start, right?
That would be a false start.
Within the rule set that you have written.
Right. And it's tailored. Let me first explain the concept behind it. And I always emphasize that although there are different concepts that can take this particular rule set or procedure and change it based on their particular leagues, it's not something in which that is not totally Tudor Games. But you can take this particular procedure and work it however your league allows. The rule set that particular rule when I created it was understanding the NFL rule book, which says if the quarterback moves forward at the start of a play before the snap arrives to him, that's considered a false start. So it was actually the NFL rule book that created that particular mindset, because I used the NFL rule book to drive what it was I wanted to create. But if other leagues like to have that, where they move forward but they can't touch the lineman, certainly that's their prerogative. The Tudor Games rule set works with that particular concept.
Understood. Now, we've been talking at length about just that rule alone, like just like last week, I was telling you how if I wanted to play at a Tudor tournament, your rule would basically put my offense in handcuffs.
Okay.
You know,
Well,
look,
I thought that the offense really is a lot more empowered because they do have the capability of acting last before the snap. But I wouldn't think that I put you in handcuffs.
see, based on what I've shown you with my offense, you know I like to move my quarterback. I like for my quarterback to be mobile. I consider myself a maverick in regards to moving my quarterback around. In most tournaments I've been to, and you've seen it in earlier videos I've done with the MFCA convention, the Tudor Con convention. A lot of coaches out there have their quarterback on a standstill base.
Correct.
And I did a scrimmage. You saw the scrimmage video, right?
Yes, I did.
And you saw how I was able to pressure my opponent's quarterback.
Sure.
Because his quarterback was on a standstill base. So
yes,
I've been since ITZ has made the that gear base that I had shown you. I'm sure you're familiar with it. I've been able to take my quarterback out of the pistol position, the formation you see right now, and I can roll him away from the offensive line. But in doing that, in order for that quarterback to roll, the forwardmost corner of the front of the base is going to move forward. That's natural phenomenon. See, that particular rule that you have with Tudor is in some way controlling phenomenon. How do you respond to that?
Okay. Well, the first thing is with regard to other types of bases, these are found in other types of leagues, and I don't want to take away what is the concept of keeping the quarterback out of the line play that takes place. As it is in football, the quarterback certainly does not get involved with line play. With Tudor Games, the way in which you achieve that is by ensuring that the quarterback does not move forward of the line of scrimmage. If certainly another league used other types of devices or other types of bases, they would be able to create their rule set that would allow it to happen, for example, not touching the offensive line. The concept is keep the quarterback out of the line play unless you're attempting to run the football with that particular quarterback. So I don't ever want to take away, and my rule set certainly allows for others to be able to do certain types of things with their rule sets, but this is the base that I work from in this particular setup. So as it relates to the quarterback, I just work from the concept of quarterback not in line play. Therefore, if the tackle there is going to rush into the A gap or through your two hole based on your setup, then the only way the only help that the center is going to get is with that guard and tackle. The quarterback is not going to be involved in attempting to deter what is a rush on the part of the defense.
Okay, so basically the rule is saying that you don't want players pushing in the back of another player for assistance. Now, the MFCA, they're having the quarterback having the quarterback keep the ball if it touches the base of the offensive lineman, does reduce the help that the offensive line would get if a player is pushing.
Okay.
And your rule does the same thing, only that the quarterback has to do something else. If we want the quarterback to run under your rule set, there's some other things we have to do. So what I want to do right here, I want to take a break so we can go over to the field, and we're going
all right.
and we're going to go to the field, and we're going to illustrate, you and I both, we're going to illustrate your rule set and
Okay.
and how it is for Tudor Games within your rule book. All right.
Okay.
So look, let's take a break for a moment, and we're going to do some checks, and we'll be right back.